We got an incredible look at some next-gen technology, what the PlayStation 5 is going to be bringing, maybe even a little bit of what the Xbox Series X is going to be bringing, which I think is going to be pretty incredible, and I'm really looking forward to kind of talking about this. Some of it is a little bit technical, but as I asked some questions and kind of learned about it, it's going to be very easy to kind of explain what it means and what exactly it means for the next generation of gaming in terms of what you're going to be seeing and what you're going to be playing. And I think that's something that's going to be more relatable for everybody out there, including myself. Like, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, I don't understand that. So I ask questions and I kind of, learn some things. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But why don't they just explain it like that? I've often felt like that in my life, Like, it's easy enough to grasp what you're talking about if you explain it properly, and hopefully that's what I'm going to do. But this sounds very incredible for the PlayStation 5. Very exciting to talk about this. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. The cure for the common video game video. We're not reading off any scripts. It's 100% unscripted and real and raw, and that's the way I like it. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And, I just want to say, I go out of my way. I listen to the feedback. I hear what people are saying, man. They're tired of the cookie cutter videos with a presentation in the background of a E3 or something like that. They don't want that. They don't want people sounding like a robot or sounding boring or trying to act like they're better than them reading. We got the reverse delta Zabida with the Blue Jay with the Matrix aspect, this, and people don't want to hear that kind of stuff, and I get it, man. I'm an average gamer. I'm showing you new gameplay. I'm actually gaming every single day. You know what I mean? And you guys respect that, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Welcome to all the new subscribers, old subscribers, and everybody in between. It definitely means a lot that you guys are out there supporting what I do on a daily basis. I do videos every single day, and I take it to the max every single day as well. So hopefully you guys are appreciative of that. If you want to support it, the best thing you can do to support any content creator you want to support is just like the videos. I would appreciate it if you shared it or subscribed if you haven't, or hit the bell so you're notified of everything. But the best thing you can do is just like the stuff. You know what I mean? It really, really helps out, and it's free. Just like it. So we keep seeing all these different features coming out, and we saw the Unreal Engine 5 demonstration, and that looked absolutely incredible for the PlayStation 5. At the same time, people want to know a little bit more, because basically, people were wondering, oh, well, this demo was only running at 30 frames per second. Does that mean we're going to be getting 30 frames per second games? What's it possible? What's the possibility for this thing when it taps out of of the PlayStation 5 and the architecture and stuff like that? Like, what do people want at a next generation? A lot of people want that 60 frames. A lot of people want huge graphic fidelity, where it's like gorgeous games, stuff that we've never seen before, more lifelike stuff. Epic Games obviously has a partnership with Sony, so the more information we get, the better, and they're coming out with a lot more information. They came out with a bunch of stuff today that's going to be pretty interesting to kind of take a look at. Look, the interesting thing here is that Sony isn't traditionally known for using Unreal Engine. So this means that they probably might have some Unreal Engine games up their sleeves for the next generation, which I think makes a lot of sense. Also, Sony does have some good engines with the Decima engines. Naughty Dog's engine is really good as well. But maybe they've got some other stuff that they want to try out, some new games or whatever. Unreal Engine is always a really good engine to kind of look at the great stuff that we see. Like the Arkham games have been Unreal Engine. A lot of stuff. Gears engine, that's the Unreal Engine. Gears of War has traditionally been the Unreal Engine. So there's a lot of stuff that really utilizes the Unreal Engine and makes it look incredibly good. And so now we're getting some details on what more we can expect, and it even goes into performance and things like that. So it's going to be even better than what anybody thought. And so that's why I'm very excited when I saw this today, and I wanted to do a video on it right away. I, of course, will link this in the description below. If you're new to my channel, okay, I'll kind of explain how stuff works. And it's a news article like this, I will link it every time in the description below. If it's an opinion piece, then obviously my opinion needs no link to an article, as it's just my opinion. If it's a leak or rumor, thankfully most of these days the big sites and sites run with those, so I can link those most of the time. I do, however, have a couple of friends in the industry who like to remain anonymous when they tell me things, and so I will tell you right away, I don't let out who those are, and I also can't obviously link you to something, so I will always tell you to take it with a grain of salt, and that's the best way that I can put it. But I try to be as even keel as possible, and I'm very appreciative to the ones that understand what I do and why I do it. So anyway, they were actually being able to, they broke down the PlayStation 5 Unreal Engine 5 tech demo and gave some more information on Lumen. Now people go, wow, that tech demo was only 1440p or whatever, 30 frames, and it wasn't even using ray tracing. Well, here's the thing. Ray tracing is kind of like a brand, right? So Lumen is Epic Games' version of that, right? It's not baked on lighting. So basically what they covered is it's got next-gen visuals with Lumen, fully dynamic global illumination, which means, just like I said, it's fully there. It's like nothing's baked on. Lights in the world allowed to be dynamic, so there's no baking or no light map UVs. What that means is most games we play, in fact, pretty much every game we play on consoles right now, doesn't have what's known as dynamic lighting, which means it can change and things like that. It's baked on, so like at a certain time it's going to be there no matter what. This changes that, so it's dynamic. It can happen organically. It also helps a lot for games that are going to have like seasons and things like that. It's not baked on. People really want that dynamic type lighting and stuff like that. So that's good to know. Like the future, you can definitely see that happening sometimes in the future when the PlayStation 5, obviously. So when it comes to this stuff, nanite performance, it averages at 1400p upsampled to 4K with a lot of anti-aliasing as well, and it's got 4.5 milliseconds to output the buffer, so it's got very little CPU time, which means it's not really utilizing or taking up much of the CPU. Also, this was, I thought, was very, very important, comfortably in budget for 60 hertz games. So that means that demo that we saw, even though that was 30 frames per second, they could comfortably do 60 frames on that, with some optimization and things like that. So people have to keep that in mind as well. When it comes to the demo that we saw, it was, I think, 20 people working on it for a couple weeks. That's not a tremendously large amount of time. So obviously, they're saying, 1440p is something that is pretty impressive. And again, when you talk about, it wasn't native 4K, listen, the fidelity that we're getting has rendered a lot of this stuff moot. Even Digital Foundry's like, 4K isn't really necessarily indicative of how good a picture is anymore, because if you even go to the in-engine stuff of Hellblade 2, that was somewhere along 1600p or whatever, and people are like, oh man, that looks amazing. So again, you can't go by the old trusty, just, is this 1080p or is this 1440p or 4K, right? There's a lot more to it than that. It really makes a lot of sense for them to be able to kind of utilize what they can with this, and I think that it's really sort of going above and beyond what many of us thought was possible. Large data sizes handled as well, thanks to runtime compression, disk compression, and streaming. The data stream based on the current view streaming pool for demo is currently 768 megabytes, and there's more optimization in progress. Compression for disk can be more aggressive than the runtime, which basically means that that was hardly optimized at all, so they're going to continue to optimize it and make it even better, and I think that's going to be better for like everybody that wants great looking games that really are going to support it. If you think about it, what they're saying is they're building this engine, and again, it's not just going to be on PlayStation 5. This just so happens to be the PlayStation 5 demo, but they're making it so it's so optimized that you're going to be able to get stuff like almost like 4K looking games at 60 frames that look that good with their equivalent of ray tracing, right? So anybody that thinks that maybe their lighting version is less taxing than, say, ray tracing, but with the same results or maybe better. You know what I'm saying? So what I was saying earlier was like Watch Dogs Legions, we saw that running at 1080p 60 frames with ray tracing on, and it was chugging the frame rate on a 2080 Ti, right? So that means that it's probably not going to be 60 frames on any next gen console. So that, if it's something we're using this engine, you would be able to get something that was 1440p that upscales nicely to 4K with anti-aliasing and all that kind of stuff, and 60 frames, and it's going to look incredible. So that's going to be the next gen stuff. Like, people get stuck with the buzzwords of 4K and this and like too often. Realistically, that's an unrealistic thing to really kind of focus on. So they have a focus on rigid geometry. 90% of the geometry object movement is supported. Billions of source triangles, millions of render triangles, hundreds of thousands of object instances. That means all this stuff can be on the screen at the same time. Future investigation, they have translucent or masked materials, non-rigid deformation, skeletal animations, tessellation, and displacement. So everything is going to look better and absolutely incredible. So these are the things that are going to look much, much better. Grass, leaves, hair. They're going to be able to render that stuff with incredible precision. Like, you know how hair and grass and some of these things and cloth are very difficult to render. This stuff is going to look absolutely incredible in the next generation console, and what Microsoft and Sony are going to be able to accomplish is nothing short of amazing. So again, they really broke it down on what's going to be able to kind of be supported here. All the little things, like the intangible things look so real, and you're going to be able to see that, because I'm going to put this in the description below, and I hope you guys check it out. But it's really fascinating to kind of see exactly what's going to be done and what's possible with the next generation, and it really gets me excited for next generation in general. So again, this is going to be a great instance for you guys to check out what's going on, and I really appreciate, hopefully I didn't talk up to you too much and kind of explain it in a way that everybody can understand, and I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you guys so much for rocking out with me. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Stay safe, happy, healthy. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, @_Crapgamer. If you want to hit me up on Xbox Live, MOH Crapgamer. On PSN, just Crapgamer. And I'll always respond, man. I try to respond to everybody and as much as I can, and I'm very appreciative of all you guys. So thank you guys so much. Rack 'em up and game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.